Hey, hi, hello, namaste. Let's talk about what is full stack development. So, full stack, which is nothing but all rounders. I think majority of the people know cricket, right? In cricket, to whom people are calling as all rounder, the one who know how to bowl, the one who know how to bat, the one who know how to field, the one who know how to keep. Am I making sense? That is how that particular person can be called as all-rounders. Similarly, in IT, software engineering, the one who knows how to write a front-end code, which means that presentation layer of the application, and the one who is able to write business logic, right? Back-end logic, the one who know how to maintain a database, data inside a database. Either it may be SQL or no SQL. And a person who is good enough in DevOps. These are the important aspects that full stack developers they plan to learn. Okay, now it is a question mark for many of the people. That is how now full stack, whether some people also they used to keep connecting us and they will ask, sir, I want to become a full stack developer. Yes, of course, it's a right choice. It is altogether it's a better choice, and it has a lot of benefits as well. But if I ask them what kind of full stack that they would like to become, they don't have answers. Whether you want to become a Java full stack guy, or Python, or Node.js, or .NET, or PHP, or Ruby, if I ask them, no answers. That is where, and while interacting with many of students or people, then I got to know, why can't I give a free session so that people can understand? Confusion stops, right? That is where stay tuned and understand what are the technical stacks which is available for full stack developers. That's where now full stack technologies. Guys, front-end development, creating the user interface. What do you mean by interface? Now, interface is all about, it is a platform where user can communicate to the system. It is a platform for communication. Now, if you see, if you would like to make a call to the loved ones, now you see if you are clicking on number, keypad, you have to select a number, you have to type your number, or you should go to the address book and you have to fetch mobile number. Then if you click, then that is called interface. You see whatever you see inside that screen, that is called interface. That can be created for not only mobile applications but also web applications, enterprise applications, standalone applications, desktop applications, whatnot, progressive applications, hybrid applications. Interface is mandatory. So full stack developer must aware how to create a proper interface in order to attract the customers, so that customers can use your interface for interaction purpose, right? Next, backend development, managing the server, database, and application logic. This is where you guys have to understand business logic, which is called as application logic, presentation logic, presentation versus application. This is also very important concept. Now, presentation logic, if you write inside a front end, business logic, like one simple example I always used to give it to the students. Now, there is, think about it, Diwali offers, and maybe Christmas offers, or Bakrid offers, or XYZ, whatever the offers it is. Offer percentage, there is 10% discounts or 20% of discounts. Think about it, if you are writing all the discount related logic in front end, anybody can go to front end and right click on the browser. There is an option called view page source. If you click, we would be able to see all the front end code. Then we can change 10% to 100%. Then the price of a product will become 0. That is why those kind of logics are called as sensitive business logics that can be executed in backend. And database, as everyone knows, that database is a backbone for an application. If the database corrupt, no application works. However, for a human, brain is database. If you guys are not sleeping well, or if you are not taking enough rest, or if you are not well, however, your database is not working as expected. Similarly, if something goes wrong with your database, your application might not work. That's why database logics we have to write inside backend. So servers, what is server? Guys, everywhere, if any program, if you would like to execute, now the computer understands only binary language, that is zeros and ones. but are we writing zeros and ones code? Of course no, we are writing English like statements. That is where you need an application servers wherein when you are embedding front-end code and back-end code and database code all together, your server has to be there to read and convert that into a graphical user interface. And that is where internally interpreters, compilers, parsers comes into the picture to convert your English like statement into machine readable format and machine readable format into graphical user interface. That is where application servers are really required. So hope you understand what are the concepts which are going to cover in backend. Next you see database management, DBMS, RDBMS, NoSQL databases or cloud or distributed databases or different kind of things will come under database management, and which is helping you to store, retrieve and modify, delete a lot of things that we can do with respect to this particular phase. And DevOps, managing the servers and deployment processes. Guys, this is quite interesting because when we started writing web application code in the year 2004, 2005, even 4 to 2010, 6 years if you can see, there was no concept of DevOps, there was no concept of cloud. And what was the problems that we used to face? Let me explain that. The moment when you guys are planning to deploying a code which we have written in our local computers into a servers where clients can access that servers. Client cannot come to your office to access the code. That's where we have to deploy your code into servers. During that stage, deployment of a local code into a server is the biggest challenge. And frequently if you wanted to deploy, there is dedicated resources are working, and if something goes wrong, if anything wrong, application server might crash, so client is going to be unhappy. And we are not that much, there is no easy factor for maintaining a continuous integration and continuous deployment process. That's where in 2014 and later AWS DevOps came into the picture, which made our life so easier. For that reason today DevOps is also part of full stack. Even as a full stack engineer, if you know what is CI, what is CD, how are we going to maintain this, release pipelines and build pipelines, it is easier for you to get a job. Okay, hope you understand. These are the full stack technologies ranging from front end and DevOps. Now, front end technologies. Now, right from, let us go with front end. Guys, these are very, very important. HTML is for structuring a web page or a mobile page. CSS is majorly for styling, and even JavaScript is a king. This guy is going to help us to add interactions. Now this is a core technologies of front end. Next, if you go a little bit more popular frameworks or libraries, now React is a popular library, and Angular and Vue.js comes under frameworks which are helping us to build single page application architecture, SPA. The different concepts are there. When you are talking about architecture, web architecture is there, single page application architecture is there, and even in web architecture, single tier, 2 tier, 3 tier, n-tier architectures are also there. That is also mandatory for a developer to understand. Okay, this is all front-end technologies that you guys have to understand with a practical and project-based. That is very important. Next, in the back-end technologies, you also can see that, sir, it is a mandatory for anyone to understand any one back-end. One programming language must. Either if you are good at Java, yes, there is an option for you to get a jobs, and either Java, Python, Node.js, Ruby, .NET, XYZ, PHP, there are many. Okay, one programming language and scripting language is mandatory for any full stack engineers. Next, at the same time, backend frameworks. Guys, everywhere without a framework, I'm sure we cannot build an application with an efficient and quick manner. I'm not saying that we cannot build an application, but if you wanted to build an application as quickly as possible with a less time, frameworks plays a very important role. Frameworks sounds like a ready-made dress. Now see, now Diwali festival or maybe any festival comes, you can walk into the shopping mall and you can buy any dress and you can enjoy it because they are ready-made. Now assume that if you're not getting that ready-made dresses. If you would like to walk into the shop, buying the fabric, and that is where you have to involve a lot of efforts. And buying a fabric is not that much easy. If you don't know what is the cloth quality, then again you are not going to enjoy that particular dress. Now buying a fabric is tough, and getting it done and stitching from the tailor is not that much easy nowadays. Hope you understand. But ready-made, that is where frameworks has ready-made features, where we can make use of frameworks to build an application. That is what you see. If you guys are using a core concept, if it takes a month to build an application, if you use a framework, it will take weeks to build an application. Months and weeks. There is a huge saving of a time. That is why companies are coming forward to hire a candidate who are good at core along with the frameworks. That's why frameworks is mandatory for you to understand. ExpressJS and Django and Spring. Even if you guys are wanted to learn even more, Python full stack has Django framework, even Java has Spring and Spring Boot frameworks, and even Node has Express frameworks, and PHP has Codeigniter, Laravel frameworks, XYZ. Different people have different kind of frameworks. Okay, this is all backend technologies. Then database technologies, if you see relational databases like MySQL, it is an open source relational database management system, and whereas coming to PostgreSQL, it is bit advanced relational database with the support for complex queries. Yes, of course. These comes under relational databases. Next, you see NoSQL databases like MongoDB and Firebase. Now here, a NoSQL databases for flexible and scalable database solutions where the data is stored in the format of key value, which is called as schema. Excuse me. And Firebase, it's a cloud-based platform for developing a web and mobile applications. Nowadays, Firebase can also be used for storing as kind of a sample application. Now you see majority of the front-end people, if they would like to deploy application into Netlify or any other free platforms, Firebase they used to always use it. But for large scale applications, I don't think recommending of a Firebase is not that much good. But I'm not here to explain which one is good or which one is bad, but I'm just giving an examples. But guys, being an architect, having 18 years of experience in the field of IT, and we are the one who is going to decide whether for the project, whether MySQL is a suitable one, or PostgreSQL is a suitable one, or MongoDB is a suitable one, or Firebase is a suitable one, or now we need to go for Oracle, we have to go for XYZ based upon the complete requirement. We'll analyze, then we'll try to give them the suggestion for our clients. That power we have. Don't worry. If you need that also, maybe if you are an experienced folk or a fresher, if you have any questions, comment it, then we'll try to solve you people. Don't worry about it. We are there to help you. Next, version control and collaboration tools. Why this is important? Version control. This is something quite interesting, guys. Version control, because today we are writing, a couple of statements for building one particular product or maybe one module or one functionality. Tomorrow there is another module, another functionalities that we are keep writing. Now think about it. If you guys are not maintaining a version, or if you are not using a version control system, there is a revision history that we have to maintain. What happens if the revision history is not maintained? We have faced a lot of problems. For building one application, there are multiple developers will be there. Developer 1 is writing some piece of code. Developer 2, he writes some piece of code. Developer N write a piece of code. Now, if all these systems directly, if they are attached to your cloud server, direct server, think about it, developer 1, developer 2, developer 9, there is no mistakes. These guys have committed the right code. If the developer 10 commit any wrong code, if you are not maintaining any version, that wrong code might disturb other code. There is a chances that entire application might crash if you guys are not using version control system. You see how dangerous it is. Say yes or no. That is where Git version control system comes into the picture. For each and every commit of a developer, there is a revision history. How it helps you, I'll tell you. Even yes, of course, for developer 1 also there is a revision history, revision code, history code will be there, and for each commit there is a revision history. Think about it, maybe developer 10, the moment when he commits the code, revision history would have been generated for each commit, so that what we can do, we can remove his commit only. we can rebase it to the previous revision history and commit, so that we can lose only his commit and his data, but remaining 9 people content that we can retain. It is a quite interesting. It is so powerful toolbox, but it is very easy. Hardly in Git 15 commands, 10 to 15 commands if you know, then it is easier for you to become a full stack guy. Okay, fine. Now Git is a distributed version control system for tracking changes in code. That is what I said. And even tracking purpose. If I make a mistakes, it is easier for a lead to track. If anyone make a mistakes, it is easier for them to track what mistake, where exactly the problems are happening. It's also very important to track. Otherwise, humans are very smart, and making a mistakes is easy, but accepting mistake, oh my God, it is not that much easy. Don't think that everyone accept their mistakes, right? That is one of the biggest challenge in humans' life. People will make a mistakes and they'll just sitting idle and they won't even accept it. That is one of the problems that every developers are facing. Now GitHub, GitLab, this is a platform for hosting Git repositories. Guys, today it is very important for you to push all your code into your repositories. And as long as if you are having multiple repositories, that is where people will try to give an importance and respect to the developers who are having multiple repositories with a proper code. How many problems that you solve, how many projects that you completed, how many projects that you hold, how many real world problems that you solve, that is where your salaries and your job is going to relate. And if you want to earn more, first you learn more. Don't ever try to search for money. And if someone is learning something for money at this stage without having a skills, I'm sure it is very tough to get a money without having a skill. That's why give an importance to the skill first. Learn. Then if you remove L, then always there is an option for you to earn. Okay, fine. Now these are the platforms which is helping you to store all your source code into a distributed cloud computing platforms. Okay. Now these version control systems are also mandatory for you. GitLab and GitHub is important. Bitbucket also it is important. Now DevOps and deployment tools. What do you mean by deployment? Guys, in the olden days, clients are expecting us to release the code once in a month or maybe twice in a month or 2 months once, because the clients are not actively asking us to release their code, because that is how SDLC, software development methodologies, waterfall model says different way of delivery, and agile or DevOps or Scrum, spiral model, different model has a different way of developing a software. That is all the approach. SD software methodologies is an approach of delivering a software to the customer. Hope you understand that. Now when it comes to the latest approaches like DevOps or Scrum or Agile, every day or every week or every 2 weeks there is a concept called sprint. Some sprints 3 weeks, some sprint 2 weeks. Sometimes some clients can even ask everyday updates also. Now every day if you would like to push your code, local code into your server, if you're not using a distributed control system or if you don't know DevOps, is it easy to connect as fast as possible? Every time manually if you want to do it, it consumes a lot of time and efforts. If something goes wrong, application might crash. Again, client is going to give us the awards and rewards. Got my point? That is one of the challenge for the developers. That is where the CI/CD is helping us. Once the build pipeline created, when the deployment pipeline, release pipeline generated, automatically on one click, one button, everything will go. Clicking on a button is easy, or pushing the code by using FTP, file transfer protocols, and manually collecting all the files, pushing into the server is easy. You have to think about it. Clicking a button is always easy. That is where deployment tools comes into the picture. Now you see containerization. This is very important concept. This is Docker. You can create a Docker image. It will help you to package your software, and that package software image, Docker image, can work anywhere. Now majority of the people, when you are installing a operating system, you also know operating system image, that is called Docker image. You can even in bootable CD, you can run that and you will be able to install without taking anybody's support. That is how the Docker images will help you to package your application that can work anywhere in any environment. Next, CI/CD, CI, continuous integration and continuous deployment. Jenkins, which automates server for building your application for any errors or anything. and testing and deploying the code into your servers. Jenkins is one of this tool, and GitLab CI also will help you to integrate CI/CD process. Next, at last, cloud platforms. You need a servers. Where are you going to deploy your code? You need a server. Physical servers is no more now. There is a virtual servers. That is where AWS and Azure and GCP is also there. But these two are the popular ones where you can store your code. From there, you can even connect to your DNS, domain name servers. Then the clients are happy to access that particular domain name servers to see the output of your code. This is how the full stack developers has to understand these many technologies they have to learn. Only front-end, back-end and database they are considering as a full-stack engineers. That is where the half-cooked food is, however, it will trouble your stomach. Similarly, half knowledge will not even help us to get a job. When you are planning to learn completely. Otherwise, just sit idle. Hope you guys have learned something from this. And also, there are different kind of roles in IT industry. If you learn full stack, yes, of course, you can apply for a front-end developer roles, and you can also apply back-end developer roles. Of course, you can also apply data full-stack developer roles. These are the different roles which are available in the market. This is how it will help you to understand what is full stack. And I think after watching this video, somehow you people have understood what is full stack. Again, full stack, if you want to become a Java full stack guy, ping us or comment us. We'll try to help you. The complete roadmap we'll give you free of cost. And if you want to learn Python full stack, we'll give you free of cost complete roadmap. That too, we won't even just copy paste, sir, because we are working professionals. We know what is required for any application to build. We won't give any junk data. Any information what we provide with practical and experience and knowledge wise we are going to give. Not just for the sake of serving people or helping people. That is how we help. And I hope if you like this particular content, and please share it with your friends. Also, for more updates, subscribe this channel and click on the bell icon for more updates. Thank you so much for watching, and Jai Hind.